Hi, my name's Charity Schubert, and I am executive producing Les Liaisons Dangereuses, and I'm also playing the Marquise de Merteuil.
I'm Blayne Weaver, and I'm playing Valmont.
So, Marquise de Merteuil is a role that I have wanted to play for many years. She is absolutely at the top of my list of dream roles. And when I thought about producing this show myself, making it happen for myself, because who else would produce a show this size? I started to think about who I would want as my Valmont. It's an incredibly important relationship in the show. It is the crux of the entire show. I thought of Blayne and realized that he would be the perfect Valmont to my Merteuil. So Blayne, I am so very, very glad that you accepted my offer of this crazy production and that you are going to be playing Valmont. What about Valmont drew you to him? What made you want to play this role?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't know the play. She lives in New York. I lived in New York, and we were like kind of a support system for each other, you know, in the arts and the theater and all that stuff. And
it's rough out there.
It is, but it's nice to have a friend, you know, who knows where you come from and knows what your life is like. And you would talk about this a lot, and I'd never seen the movie or the show, but I'd seen Cruel Intentions. And like when you first talked about it, I'm like, oh, that'd be so cool to play the bad guy, the, you know, manipulator, the person moving the chess piece and the puppet master and whatnot. Man, this part is gold. And we're gonna be such bad guys.
We're gonna be the worst.
The worst
ever.
Bad guys. Her and I manipulate a lot of people and seduce a lot of people.
Not a lot of acting going on, really. We're just gonna behave.
Just going to be terrible, terrible humans.
Terrible humans. I kid.
No, but I think that's like, I think it's such an interesting challenge to make those characters likable, right? Do you think about that at all when you're like thinking about the preparation?
I do. As an actress, I really make it my business to not care about the likability of my characters, because that has been far too important for far too long, and if it's not expected of the boys, why the hell should it be expected of us? But I still want the audience to see all the depth and layers to Merteuil. That she is more than just an evil, horrible woman.
Right.
And that she is a product of her time and a product of the artificial limitations that have been imposed on her by society. Right. So yes, I absolutely look forward to playing yet another bitch. Kind of my stock and trade. This is one who is so interesting and in the end is so heartbroken and undone by her own refusal to be vulnerable. And I think one of the really interesting things about Valmont is his vulnerability as well. He, of course, you know, hides it under this, you know, bravado and this facade. But in the
I can relate to that.
In the end, we truly do see that crumble, and we see the human underneath. So yes, Merteuil and Valmont are a toxic, awful pair, but they are real people. And I can't wait to share that with the audience and kind of share the lesson of what happens when you don't allow yourself to love.
I think something we should talk about though is it's kind of racy.
Oh yeah.
This play is very racy, and you know, I've done a couple of shows here in the Shreveport area that are kind of offstage kind of things of like, okay, this is for theater lovers. Yeah. Prepare yourself. There's going to be language. There's going to be, you know, talks of difficult things.
Adult themes.
Adult themes. This is not one to bring the kids to, right?
No.
But
so this is definitely a show for adults. It deals with adult themes, sexuality being one of them, violence as well. And no, this one definitely isn't for the kiddies, but I really love the idea of doing a show for adults and teenagers. It would be fine for as well. Shows like this really get my pulse going. And even though it is set in 1782 and the source material is from 1782, it is very contemporary. And I do have to be cautious when staging certain things. We want to make sure that the actors are always comfortable, and we never want a scene to be about sex or about nudity.
yeah.
Those are parts of life and they are elements that help tell a human story.
That's another thing that's very exciting to me, is pushing the envelope and doing the things that, like, I don't know, that Bob Busick did, you know, in the 80s, and, you know, of like bringing Shreveport, Louisiana into this, like, let's watch some challenging theater,
Yes.
you know, and they really did it in a time that was much more, I don't know, intolerant.
And Busick's legacy of pushing the envelope, and then also later Packard Williams
Yeah.
at River City Rep, I've studied under both of them, and I certainly hope to honor those traditions of taking those risks and sort of pushing the boundaries of, you know, what is usual. And that's what I'm hoping to do with Les Liaisons as well.